Healing from adrenal fatigue is unlike anything you've ever experienced. In order to heal from adrenal fatigue, what you have to do is put together your individual therapeutic puzzle. Now, you can do it on your own, but it's a fairly complex puzzle. It's got a lot of pieces, and you've never done this kind of a puzzle before. Or you could find somebody who's really good at puzzles to teach you the quickest and easiest way to put your puzzle together, because they've already done their own puzzle. And they actually went to school to learn how to put puzzles together. And then they actually worked with a puzzle master who had been putting puzzles together for 30 years prior to him coming along, who has now been doing it for 20 years and has put together over 6,000 of those puzzles just like yours. So how do you know if you're actually healing from adrenal fatigue? So once we start putting together this puzzle, you're going to notice a shift in your physiology, and it's an essential shift. The first shift in your body is going to be that you feel more calm. A lot of my patients come into me and they're kind of wired and tired. You got to take care of that wiredness first. So then you become less wired. You have better sleep, less anxiety, less trembles, less shakes, less adrenaline surges, palpitations, the whole thing. And that initial phase is essential because you're causing kind of more wear and tear on the system when you're there. So what you'll start to notice is your physiology shifts out of being in fight or flight all the time, right, and more into rest and digest. And those symptoms that come from stress physiology decrease in intensity, frequency, and duration. Next, you're going to start to feel a little more like yourself. Your mood improves, your better cognitive function, your energy's a little better. Now, in the beginning, these feelings, they're more like glimpses, moments of improvement. Not normal yet, but you're getting there. But eventually, you have a good day here and there. And then you have a couple days a week. Things are okay and they start to feel better. Then you actually feel good. When I work with the patients, we start putting this puzzle together. And once they start to shift, they start to feel better within 4 to 6 weeks. I tell patients and my coaches all the time that one of the scariest things one of my patients can tell me is, doc, I'm feeling better, because I know that quite likely they're going to use up that energy that they had put in the bank. They're going to overdo it, and they're going to suffer from what we call a bit of a dip or a crash. The first crash or dip in the process of my patients is a bit of a rite of passage. It is inevitable that we will overuse that newfound energy that we have. In the beginning, it used to bother me. I'd worry about it. I'd warn my patients, but now I know it's just part of the process and part of that recovery. And all we have to do is learn from it over time, which we can help with. The trajectory from healing is kind of up and out. Some people have a faster trajectory, some have a slower, but it's up and out. But the reality is that recovery is not linear. There are lots of ups and downs along the way. The dips that people have, those are scary because the symptoms feel like they did in the beginning. Life gets in our way, stress gets in our way, sometimes we overdo it, but we get smarter and smarter with this process as time goes on to become less and less frequent. As this happens, what I refer to as your functional capacity increases. Not 30, 40, 50%. Now you can do some normal things, exercising, things that bring you joy. 60, 70, 80, 90%. Almost normal. In fact, you can feel better than you have before because you're balanced. So not only have you become symptom-free and have you healed the adrenal fatigue, but you've also learned how to live. You've learned how to behave and think differently. You've developed habits in your life that keep you healthy and vibrant forever. Healing from adrenal fatigue, it changes your entire physiology so that now you're in a position where you're in an anti-inflammatory state, an anti-cancer state, an anti-aging state. You've just turned on the genetics, processes, and mechanisms in your body where the healing and repair have increased and that wear and tear has decreased over time. And it is magical. It absolutely can happen, and it can happen to you despite everything you've heard. Despite everything you've tried and everything that hasn't worked for you, you might need a little guidance to get there, and that's okay. I'm here to help. Reach out when you're ready.